You told yourself it was just age, that the softness around your middle, the way your belt no longer fits, the heaviness you feel when you stand up, that all of it was simply what happens after 60. You heard it from friends, you read it in articles. Maybe even your doctor shrugged and said, well, at your age, metabolism slows down. And you accepted it. But here's what no one told you. That acceptance, that quiet surrender to belly fat, may be the single most dangerous health decision you make in your 60s, 70s, or 80s. Because the fat gathering around your midsection right now is not the same fat you carried in your 30s. It is not cosmetic, it is not harmless, and it is actively working against your heart, your brain, your hormones, and your ability to stay independent. My name is Dr. Raymond, and for over 30 years, I've worked with patients navigating the biology of aging. And what I've seen in the last decade has fundamentally changed how I talk about belly fat with seniors. Because we now know this fat is not passive, it secretes hormones, it triggers inflammation, it surrounds your organs and chokes off circulation. And the methods that worked when you were younger, the calorie cutting, the long cardio sessions, the low-fat diets, those methods often make it worse after 60. This script is not about vanity, it is about survival. It is about keeping your independence, your energy, your clarity. So if you're over 60 and carrying weight around your middle that won't budge, no matter what you try, stay with me. What I'm about to share is based on the latest research into aging metabolism, and it will likely challenge everything you thought you knew. Before we go further, I want to ask you something. Drop your age and where you're watching from in the comments below. I read every single one, and it helps me understand who I'm speaking to. Whether you're 62 in Texas or 78 in London, I want to hear from you. Now, let's talk about what's really happening inside your body. Here's the truth they don't tell you. After 60, your body stops processing fat the way it used to. It's not about willpower. It's not about discipline. It's about biology. 3 major systems shift, and unless you understand them, you'll keep fighting a battle you can't win. First, your muscle mass drops. Starting around age 50, you lose between 1 and 2% of your muscle every single year unless you actively fight it. Muscle is your metabolic engine. It burns calories even while you sleep. When it shrinks, your metabolism collapses. Second, your insulin sensitivity weakens. The hormone that controls blood sugar stops working as efficiently. So the carbohydrates you eat, even healthy ones, get stored as fat far more easily than they did decades ago. And third, your cortisol levels rise. Cortisol is your stress hormone, but it also accumulates naturally with age, especially in people who don't sleep well, who feel anxious, or who've carried stress for years. High cortisol tells your body to store fat, specifically around your belly, as a survival mechanism. It thinks you're in danger. And belly fat, the kind that gathers deep inside your abdomen around your organs, is called visceral fat. This is not the fat you can pinch. This is the fat that wraps around your liver, your intestines, your heart. And it behaves like a toxic organ. It releases inflammatory chemicals, it disrupts your hormones, and it dramatically raises your risk of heart disease, stroke, diabetes, and dementia. A study published by researchers at Harvard Medical School followed over 8,000 adults aged 60 to 85 for 12 years. They found that seniors with high levels of visceral belly fat had a 44% higher risk of death from all causes, even if their overall weight was normal. Let me say that again. You can have a normal BMI, look relatively thin, and still be at serious risk if fat is hiding around your organs. This is why the scale lies. This is why belly fat after 60 is not about appearance. It is about longevity. So what do? Here's where it gets interesting. Because the most effective way to destroy belly fat after 60 is not what the fitness industry teaches. It's not about eating less. It's not about running more. In fact, some of the most popular weight loss advice actually increases cortisol, breaks down muscle, and makes belly fat worse in seniors. What works is a coordinated attack on 3 fronts: hormonal reset, muscle preservation, and fat mobilization. And I'm going to walk you through the most effective strategies, ranked from supportive to transformative, so you understand exactly what to focus on. But before I reveal number 1, do me a favor, hit that like button and subscribe to this channel, because what I'm about to share is information most doctors won't take the time to explain, and I want to make sure you don't lose access to it. Let's start with number 5. Increase your daily steps but keep intensity low. Walking is one of the most underestimated tools for belly fat loss in seniors, but only if you do it right. A study from the University of Pittsburgh followed adults over 65 who walked for 30 minutes a day at a moderate pace. Over 6 months, they lost an average of 2 inches from their waistline without changing their diet. Why does walking work? Because it doesn't spike cortisol. High-intensity cardio, the kind that leaves you breathless and exhausted, raises cortisol dramatically, especially in older adults. That cortisol surge can trigger your body to hold onto belly fat, not release it. Walking, on the other hand, that gently encourages fat burning without stressing your system. It improves insulin sensitivity, helps regulate blood sugar, and supports circulation. The key is consistency and duration, not speed. Aim for 45 to 60 minutes most days of the week. Keep your pace comfortable. You should be able to hold a conversation, and if possible, walk after meals. Post-meal walking has been shown to blunt blood sugar spikes, which directly reduces fat storage around your midsection. Number 4. Prioritize protein at every meal, especially breakfast. This is where most seniors fail without realizing it. You're probably not eating enough protein, and your body is cannibalizing your muscle to compensate. After 60, your body becomes resistant to the muscle-building signals from protein. Scientists call this anabolic resistance. It means you need significantly more protein than a younger person just to maintain the muscle you have. A landmark study from McMaster University in Canada found that adults over 65 need at least 30 grams of high-quality protein per meal to stimulate muscle growth. That's roughly the equivalent of 4 eggs, a palm-sized piece of chicken, or a large serving of Greek yogurt. But here's the problem. Most seniors eat a carb-heavy breakfast, a light lunch, and then load up on protein at dinner. By the time you eat that steak at night, your body has already spent the entire day breaking down muscle for energy. You need to flip that pattern. Start your day with 30 grams of protein. Eggs, cottage cheese, smoked salmon, a protein shake. Front-loading protein does 2 things. It stabilizes your blood sugar so you don't crave sweets mid-morning, and it sends a powerful signal to your muscles to rebuild and protect themselves. When you preserve muscle, you keep your metabolism high. When your metabolism is high, belly fat has nowhere to hide. Number 3. Lift weights twice a week, focusing on large muscle groups. I know what you're thinking. I'm too old for that. I'll hurt myself. I don't want to bulk up. Let me be very clear. Resistance training is the single most effective exercise for reducing visceral belly fat in seniors, and the research is overwhelming. A study published in the journal Obesity followed 160 adults aged 60 to 75. Half did aerobic exercise, half did resistance training. After 18 months, the resistance training group lost significantly more belly fat and gained muscle, while the aerobic group lost weight but also lost muscle. Losing muscle is the worst possible outcome for a senior. It accelerates aging, increases fall risk, and craters your metabolism. Resistance training reverses this. You don't need a gym. You don't need heavy weights. Bodyweight exercises like squats, wall push-ups, and seated rows with resistance bands are enough. The key is to challenge your muscles. Focus on your legs, your back, your chest. These are your largest muscle groups, and working them burns the most calories and triggers the biggest hormonal response. Aim for 2 sessions per week, 8 to 12 repetitions per exercise, 2 to 3 sets. Rest between sets. Move slowly and with control, and here's the magic. Resistance training doesn't just burn calories during the workout. It raises your resting metabolism for up to 48 hours afterward. That means your body is burning belly fat while you sleep, while you read, while you sit. Nothing else does that. Number 2. Cut your eating window to 10 hours a day. This strategy is called time-restricted eating, and the data on seniors is remarkable. You're not eating less food. You're simply compressing when you eat it. For example, If you finish dinner by 7 p.m., you don't eat again until 9 a.m. the next morning. That gives your body 14 hours of fasting. Why does this work so well for belly fat? Because during fasting, insulin drops. When insulin is low, your body can finally access stored fat for energy. Most seniors spend their entire day in a fed state, constantly spiking insulin with snacks, coffee with cream, a biscuit here, a piece of fruit there. Your body never gets a chance to burn fat. A study from the Salk Institute in California found that adults who restricted their eating to a 10-hour window lost an average of 3% of their body weight and significantly reduced abdominal fat over 12 weeks. Without counting calories or changing what they ate, the benefits go beyond fat loss. Time-restricted eating improves insulin sensitivity, reduces inflammation, supports cellular repair, and has been shown to improve memory and mental clarity in older adults. Start slow. Begin with a 12-hour window and gradually reduce it. Make sure your eating window includes 2 solid, protein-rich meals. And don't skip breakfast just to make this work. Remember, front-loading protein is critical. This is not about starving yourself. It's about giving your body time to heal and reset. And now, number 1. The most effective way to destroy belly fat after 60. Build a low glycemic, high fiber plate at every meal. Here's what researchers finally understand. Belly fat in seniors is primarily driven by blood sugar dysregulation and chronic low-grade inflammation. And both of those are controlled by what you eat, specifically how your food affects your blood sugar and your gut. A study from Johns Hopkins University tracked 500 adults over 65 for 3 years. Those who ate a diet high in refined carbohydrates, white bread, pasta, sugar, gained an average of 4 pounds of visceral belly fat, even if their total calorie intake stayed the same. Meanwhile, those who ate low glycemic, fiber-rich foods lost belly fat and improved markers of inflammation and metabolic health. Here's how to build that plate. Half your plate should be non-starchy vegetables. Leafy greens, broccoli, peppers, zucchini, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts. These are loaded with fiber, which feeds the healthy bacteria in your gut. Those bacteria produce short-chain fatty acids that reduce inflammation and improve insulin sensitivity. 1/4 of your plate should be high-quality protein. Eggs, fish, chicken, grass-fed beef, legumes, tofu. Protein stabilizes blood sugar, preserves muscle, and keeps you full. The final quarter should be slow-digesting carbohydrates. Quinoa, sweet potatoes, lentils, steel-cut oats, wild rice. These provide energy without spiking insulin. Avoid white rice, white bread, pastries, sugary drinks, and processed snacks. These foods cause rapid insulin spikes, which tell your body to store fat, especially around your belly. Add healthy fats. Olive oil, avocado, nuts, seeds. These support hormone production, reduce inflammation, and help you absorb nutrients. And here's the critical mistake most seniors make. They eat fruit thinking it's healthy, but they eat it alone or in excess. Fruit is sugar. It may be natural sugar, but after 60, your body doesn't care. Too much fruit, especially tropical fruits like bananas, mangoes, and pineapple, will spike your blood sugar and feed belly fat. Limit fruit to 1 serving a day and pair it with protein or fat to slow absorption. A handful of berries with Greek yogurt. An apple with almond butter. Never eat fruit on an empty stomach. Let me tie this all together for you. The most effective way to destroy belly fat after 60 is not a single trick. It's a system. You walk daily to lower cortisol and improve insulin sensitivity. You eat 30 grams of protein at breakfast to protect your muscle. You lift weights twice a week to boost your metabolism. You compress your eating window to give your body time to burn fat. And you build every meal around low glycemic, high fiber foods that stabilize blood sugar and reduce inflammation. This is not fast. This is not a 30-day transformation. But it is real. And it works because it aligns with your biology, not against it. I've seen this change lives. I've watched 70-year-old patients lose inches from their waist, come off blood pressure medication, regain their energy, and feel like themselves again. Not because they starved. Not because they suffered. But because they finally understood how their body works now. Not how it worked 30 years ago. You are not broken. You are not too old. Your body is still capable of extraordinary change. It just needs the right signals. So start today. Pick one strategy from this list and commit to it for 2 weeks. Then add another. Build slowly. Be patient with yourself. And remember, the goal is not perfection. The goal is progress. The goal is to wake up 6 months from now and realize you feel stronger, lighter, clearer, and more alive than you have in years. If you found this helpful, I'd love for you to watch my next video on the 5 foods that are secretly aging your brain faster. It's linked right here. Thank you for trusting me with your health. I'll see you in the next one.